Making pottery just seems like the weirdest enterprise in 2000 and whatever this is, because it's like very offline.
So how do you know when you've got all the air bubbles out, or did you just take a random guess?
You just take a random guess.
How are we doing now?
We're almost there.
Let's talk about your design vocabulary, Johnny. What are the words that you would use to describe for your pots?
Organic.
Organic.
Handcrafted. Haunting.
Surreal. I'm
Surreal.
seeing surrealism here.
Yeah.
When I met Johnny and I went to his pottery studio, I said, "What are you doing today?" And he said, "Oh, I've got an order for, 24 decanters and 65 mugs." And he just sat there and produced them all, and they were all identical. Seems like a miracle that you can take something like clay that's like poo, essentially, it's incredibly squishy, and make it into this very structured shapes that are identical.
When I was a production potter, I used to get up, wedge all the clay I was going to use that day. So maybe I was going to make mugs. So I would wedge 100 balls of clay, weigh them out so they were all the same size. That would take about 2 hours. Then I would sit there and throw each one, and that took about 3 hours. Then I would trim them, another couple hours. Then I would pull all the handles for them, another couple hours, attach all the handles in another couple hours, and then it was bedtime.
So tell me, how did that start? When did you throw your first pot?
When I was a kid.
When you were a kid, how old? Get specific.
When I was 12, I threw a pot at summer camp, fell in love with it, and that was pretty much it.
It seems incredibly frustrating because there's so many processes where it can screw up.
The thing about pottery is, you make something, you spend hours on it, you work and work and work, it's perfect, you know what it's going to be, you put it in the kiln, you open the kiln, it's exploded. Over and over and over again. The hardest part about pottery is that you're sort of just doing exactly what the clay doesn't want you to do. The clay wants to be wild and untamed, and so everything you're doing is sort of going against the nature of the beast. There's a certain zen that comes from being a potter.
With pottery, there's no way to fudge it.
And speaking of fudge, for some reason we call Liberace fudge. Why is that?
Maybe it's what comes out of his bottom.
You know what we need to make is some dog bowls.
That's not going to impress the viewers, a bloody dog bowl. We want to see some massive Rococo thing with 100 flourishes on it. The retail store was a great platform, and you could experiment there, and that's when you started to do furniture, if I'm not mistaken.
Doing retail, I thought to myself, wow, it's nice to have a few pots on a shelf, but wouldn't it be nice if I made a shelf on which to put them? And the pillows look great, but they would look ever so much lovelier if they were on a sofa of my own design.
So it was
it's
sort
all
of
very
megalomania, really.
Yeah, what you're witnessing is a megalomaniac.
Potter.
Yeah, I guess that's redundant. All the stuff we do, pottery, lighting, pillows, furniture, rugs, it all can be traced back to pottery. Pottery is still the laboratory for all the ideas. It's where we sort of work out forms and silhouettes and patterns and motifs.
So pottery to you is what disco music is to Madonna. She'll do a ballad, yes. She'll do some salsa music, yes. But she always goes back to dance music.